After I, listen to the talk, okay, I think I should incorporate the 5 basic freedoms in my teaching philosophy now. But actually, I already incorporated the 5 basic freedoms in my teaching philosophy without knowing that, because right now I am a teaching assistant at Purdue University teaching first year composition, and I give them freedom. I give them options to choose topic for their essay. So they have to meet me, every week and talk about that topic, why they want to work on, the topic that they want to write. So that's, freedom, okay? And I also like, have them write on the same topic, but in different genres, different types of writings, like, personal narrative, literature review, interview report, something like that, argumentative essay. So by writing, in different genres, they have, freedom to experiment new things. For example, when they write a narrative, writing a narrative essay, they might, try using a dialogue in their writing, but they should not use it when they write an argumentative essay, something like that. So they have a chance to experiment new things in that different genres of writing.
I think we have time for at least one more.
Well, I think the most important attitude in language learning is it's okay to make mistakes.
Oh, nice.
And I do that. I always do it directly. I mean, I always tell my students on the first day we meet that it's okay to make mistakes and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because I myself do make a lot of mistakes. So that's it.
That's great.
Actually, on the first few weeks of school, I make sure I purposely make several mistakes. And I make the students correct me. And that establishes the tone so they can correct each other when they make mistakes.
Yeah. Last comments.
Yes. I think sometimes there's small things that the teacher can do, like we would like to get the students to practice accuracy, and we can integrate the activity that get the student to practice accuracy, and then get them to express their own ideas and identity. Something like short talk or table talk in the speech club. I give them issue like if I were elected the prime minister, I would. And everybody go in circle, small circle and big circle, and they develop voice. And eventually I think that they could compile and send it to the candidates. Yeah.
Just the last, one approach that I think is very promising in providing an opportunity for students to express their identity in our classes is an approach that has been called digital stories, in which students actually have a chance to tell a story about themselves through English to an audience that they determine. And so it has many of the same characteristics that you've all mentioned. What I like about it is students take pictures that are meaningful to them and they use them. They write a story, and it's maybe about their family, it may be about a tradition, it may be about something that happened to them, how they're feeling, it can be anything they choose. They choose those pictures, they then maybe go to the internet to get some more images, and they write a story, they use the pictures, and then they even put music in, and then they have a chance to present this to each other. If you are interested, if you just put digital stories at UMBC, you'll be able to call up a number of them, and there's a very, very funny one by a Thai student called My Big Feet. And it's about the trouble she has in Thailand finding shoes, and how happy she is when she gets to the United States, because there people have big feet and she can find shoes. So it's even a chance to bring humor into the classroom. You might want to take a look at that one.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to take this opportunity just to say one more thing, one more activity. Sometimes when we teach reading, our students really don't know why they're reading something. They're reading it because we told them to read it. And they don't really know how to read it then. And, how much of this do I have to memorize, and how much do I... And oftentimes teachers will ask students comprehension questions to see if they've read it. The comprehension questions just show that maybe they got through it, but it doesn't always show understanding. So when I give students something to read, I recommend that they do 3 things when they read. When they read something, underline what they think is interesting, what they think is interesting, not what they think I think is interesting, but what they think is interesting. Underline what they think is interesting. Then put a question mark by things they either don't understand or things they want to know more about. And then the third thing is to put a circle around things they want to remember. A lot of times when I'm reading, there's a phrase or a sentence or a small paragraph, something that I really want to remember. And I show them examples of that from some of the literature. I keep a running diary of these things. So when I write a book, I'm going to be plagiarizing right and left because I have all these great things that I want to say. But when they come, rather than asking comprehension questions, I ask them, so what did you think was interesting about this? And they've already underlined it. Or did anybody want to know anything more about something? And they ask the questions. And I just say, what do you want to remember from this? And they start sharing, and then they start asking each other, well, why? Well, why that? Or why did you think that was interesting? I didn't think that was interesting at all. Then you have a discussion rather than this teacher material-centered question-answer thing that is. And it shows much more understanding and much more meaning. Anyway, so I want to thank Dr. Jody Crandall for letting us exploit her and use these, and for all of you here who participated with us today. And we hope to be doing more podcasts in the future. So stay tuned. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you.